Hello everyone, I'm Don and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a combination of two of my most favorite desserts. One is cannoli and the other is cheesecake. So that's right, we're going to make cannoli cheesecake. So I'm going to start off with the list of ingredients here. So we're going to be making a graham cracker crust. So we start with 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs. Now you can make those yourself or you can buy them pulverized in the store. In your baking section, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, and then we've got 5 tablespoons of melted butter. Now that's for our crust. For the filling, we've got our main ingredient, which is ricotta cheese, ricotta. It is 32 ounces or 1 container of the normal store-bought variety I buy from the big box Sam's Club, and they come in a bigger container, so I actually have to weigh those out to get the 32 ounces. Besides that, we've got 1 cup of sugar. We've got 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We've got 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of fresh squeezed lemon juice, or basically the juice of 1 lemon, 8 ounces of cream cheese, and 2 large eggs. So let's get started with the crust. So we're going to take our breadcrumbs, or our graham cracker crumbs, our 1/4 cup of sugar, and our 5 tablespoons of melted butter, which I already had on the stove top over here. Now we're going to stir this together, and the idea is to make this basically they call it a wet sandy mix. You have to really mix it in to get that butter to go through all those breadcrumbs. But once you do, you end up with a mix that is very much like what they say, mixed wet sand. That's going to help it stick together, and once that butter sets up, it actually forms. Now this recipe calls for actually baking the breadcrumb crust, the graham cracker crust. I've already preheated my oven at 350 degrees. Other cheesecake recipes that I've made, you don't have to do that. I'm going to follow this recipe to the T. And I will post this recipe in the description so you guys can take a look at it. I think you could probably bypass this step. So we got this to the point where it is looking pretty much like the wet sand look. Now what you're going to use is a 9-inch spring pan, a 9-inch spring pan. And I've taken the liberty to grease this because the last time I made one I didn't, and it didn't really stick to the sides, but it did stick to the bottom. So basically from here you take all your wet graham cracker crumbs and put it into your spring pan, and you're supposed to just kind of move it around and compact it, and you want it to also go up to the sides as far as you can go. I'm not real great at that, but the last cheesecake came out terrific, so I'm not going to say I'm no good at it because it worked out pretty well. So I'm just tamping the bottom of it, and then I'm going to go around the sides and kind of squeeze in with my fingers, and I may have to bring a little bit more in from time to time. And I think that's going to be a good level to bring it up to. I don't know that our filling will come up much higher than that. And I know on the last cheesecake I made in this 9-inch pan, it worked out pretty well. So once again, the idea is to not only cover the bottom with probably about 1/4 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch of the crumb, and then also come up a good inch or so up the sides From here, we're going to take it over to the oven, of course, and it's going to go in there for about 8 minutes. Like I said, the previous recipes did not call for that, but this one does, so I'm going to follow the directions. And while this is baking, we are going to go ahead and proceed with making our filling. So I think that's going to be just fine. So we're